This is Hilary Topper on Air, the Endurance Sports Podcast. This podcast will help you grow both personally and professionally. It's a lot about endurance sports, but it's not only about endurance sports. It's about lifestyle. It's about helping you achieve your goals, both personally and professionally. So just keep listening in. You are listening to episode 509 of Hilary Topper on Air. Triathletes push their bodies to the limit through intense training and competition, making recovery and injury prevention not just important, but essential for long-term success. I'm Hilary Topper, and welcome to Hilary Topper on Air. Today, we have a special guest. His name is Craig DiGiovanni. He's the CEO of Medi-Dyne Healthcare Products, Ltd. Welcome, Craig, to the show.
Thanks for having me, Hilary.
So, can you start by giving us an overview of Medi-Dyne, some of the products that you have, and also how you support triathletes and endurance athletes?
Yeah, so Medi-Dyne we were formed 26 years ago, and we really wanted to get into the business of having a positive impact on people's lives. We came from the medical industry, but we didn't really want to be in necessarily the hospital medical business. We really wanted to be in products that we could have a direct impact on people's lives, and so we started the business with that in mind. And over the years, we've created a business based on 4 brands: our foot care brand Thule's, our bracing brand Chopat, our stretching, strengthening, and massaging brand ProStretch, and then our blister, chafing, odor, sweat prevention products, Teutons. And so those 4 brands make up Medi-Dyne, and they also work in conjunction with each other, because we have a philosophy that, people are different. Their bodies are different. What they do is different. And so how we help them needs to be, a multifaceted, different approach than they're normally used to doing. And so we really try to attack a lot of the common things, like, knee pain and plantar fasciitis, Achilles tendonitis, and the like, in a multifaceted way that allows people to have better results from their treatment. And all of our products are, tested. Most of them come out of the medical industry in some form or another, and they get tested to make sure that they meet the demand and need of our customers. Because the number one thing about every product that we put out in the market is we have to know it works. And generally, we want it to work better than anything else out there. We don't like Me Too products. We like products that really perform well and really perform better than anything else out in the market. And I think when you experience some of our products in our product line, you'll understand that.
All right. So as a triathlete, what are some of the common issues you see in terms of injury prevention and recovery? And how do your products specifically address these challenges?
Yeah, so triathletes. I did a half Ironman myself, so I understand. It's not a full, I get it, but the half was I got the message. And triathletes, it's only a matter of time that you have some kind of overuse injury. There's just a lot of training that goes into training for a triathlete. And so at some point or another, you're going to experience something, whether it's a sore shoulder from swimming, whether it's plantar fasciitis, Achilles tendonitis, or calf strain running, or something like lower back pain biking. And then in all 3 of those activities, there's always some sort of skin issue, whether it be blisters or chafing, that can develop from a variety of different methods and different activities that people are doing. So it's just a matter of time really before you have one of those overuse injuries that I think we've got a lot of solutions for.
So let's talk about chafing because that really is one of the major issues that we all have and we all face as endurance athletes, especially during the longer races. And I'm a big fan of Two Toms. Can you talk a little bit about the Two Toms Sport Shield and also the Two Toms Butt Shield? I actually use that one all the time when I'm cycling. And how does it work to prevent chafing? Like, I mean, it's just a roll on. So how does that work?
Well, our formula is designed to really provide the best anti-friction properties on the market, and we're confident of that. Uh, the more and more people try our product versus the competition, the more they switch to it. And when I say better anti-friction properties, first of all, it goes on easier and smoother and covers a better area. And that's without a doubt, especially if you have, you know, if you have a lot of body hair, boy, using some of those drier formulas can be a real problem. Ours goes right through the hair onto the skin, and ours stays there. It'll last 24 hours. It's sweat proof and it's waterproof. So when you're talking about a triathlete that's getting in the water, that is, you know, certainly sweating for hours on end. Uh, Boy, what a great product to be able to depend on. Something that you know is going to go on easy, that's going to stay there and provide you the protection that you need for as long as you got to go. In fact, our tagline is "Go longer, finish stronger," and we like that, because we want people to be able to go the distance that they want to go, and have the protection that they need to finish what they're doing. We've got ultra runners that have tested the Sport Shield in 150-degree or 150-mile hot climate run, and it lasted the entire time. We've had runners run across the country and use
Wow.
the product and have no problems. And I can give you a litany of other examples, personal and otherwise, to just have the confidence to tell you that I don't believe there's any other better anti-friction product out in the market.
Are they waterproof as well for swimming?
Yes, in fact, we've got a lot of swimmers that, especially female swimmers, that have the straps that come up over their shoulder. That creates a lot of friction points for them. And then, guys in between the legs. And then, from a triathlete standpoint, gosh, I got a swim hickey before. I mean, that is not a pleasant experience, right?
No.
But it works, and it even works if you put it on your arms, your wrists, and your ankles. You're trying to get that wetsuit off, it'll help. So we're confident again that it's a product that works better in water than any other product, and it'll provide you the protection that you need.
Awesome. So talk to me about the difference between Two Tom's Sport Shield and Sport Shield XTRA.
So the SportShield XTRA, and actually, quite frankly, the Butt Shield are the same formula product. We originally started with the Butt Shield, and we got some pushback on the name. We've kept it we've kept it around because it's created, especially internationally, some kind of cult-like following, and so we keep the product around. But we then decided it was a product that other people wanted for all purposes. But the original idea was it's got 4 extra ingredients. People always say, well, is it just a different name? No, it's actually got 4 extra ingredients, 2 that are kind of antimicrobial in nature and 2 that are skin softening in nature. And so, especially for those sensitive areas, we wanted something that would provide a little bit extra protection. And it's a product that has gotten a lot of positive feedback lately, and our sales actually really continue to grow with that, to the point where our sales are almost 50-50 now. Some people really still like that original formula. Some people like the SportShield XTRA. The SportShield XTRA tends to be a little thicker in nature, When it goes on, it feels almost the same, but it does have those 4 extra ingredients. So I tell people if you're going to be using it in sensitive areas, like your backside, I would recommend, the extra, the butt shield. I think it's a worthy product. But again, I personally use the Sport Shield. I like the feel of it, and it works well for me.
That's great. Yeah. You know what's interesting? I just wanted to pick up on your on the point where you said that, there are people just like almost like gurus that I mean absolutely love two toms, like and they're all out there and it's awesome to hear from them because I do when I blog about this. So let's switch gears for a moment and talk about calf injuries and tightness in runners and triathletes, especially when running, right? Can you explain how the ProStretch Plus adjusted calf and foot stretcher helps with stretching and injury prevention?
Absolutely. It's one of my favorite products still to this day. Just a little bit of history. We started off with the original ProStretch, which is a great product, and it does several things that help you get a better stretch. And we've actually had some studies done to prove that the ProStretch works better than traditional methods, including a curb. We have people all the time say, why don't you just use a curb? Well, it doesn't work as well. First of all, it puts your foot in the correct biomechanical position to get the best results of stretching. And then second, that rocker bottom allows you to have constant pressure where you're not having to relieve the pressure to adjust the angle of your stretch and get more stretch. This is a constant pressure that it really pushes your stretch and keeps it there. And I tell people that, stretching, there's 2 key ingredients to stretching: intensity and duration. So if you're not pushing, hard enough to reprogram and stretch those muscles, you're not going to get the results. So you have to apply pressure, and you want that pressure to be, constant over a period of time. And we've seen studies where it shows people that hold their stretch 30, 40, 60, even 120 seconds get better results. It
Wow.
reprograms that myofascia within the muscle to release and stretch. And so, it's really important. But if you're using a step or the wall or anything else, you're having to stop your position and reallocate the pressure, which kind of stops the progress of what you were doing. So those 2 things, those 2 key ingredients are really important. And the ProStretch offers that for what we call the lower connective chain of the leg, the calf, which is the gastroc and soleus, then the Achilles tendon, which all attached to the calcaneus bone, which then attaches to that plantar fascia. And so all of those are an interconnective chain that work together in concert with each other. And so, and the calf is one of the hardest working muscles in the body. I mean, you get the heart, the tongue, and then the calf. I mean, it is by far one of the hardest working muscles in the body. And when you're doing triathlete training, I mean, you're putting a lot of stress on those muscles and tendons. And again, it's just a matter of time. You're going to work them so hard, you're going to develop an Achilles tendonitis, which I've had. You're going to have some kind of calf strain, or you might just get calf cramping. I mean, there's a litany of things. And then, of course, there's plantar fasciitis. And so it's just a matter of time before one link in that chain is going to break down. And the ProStretch attacks that whole area really well. Now, the ProStretch Plus was designed because we realized that the original ProStretch was a one-size-fits-all product. People aren't one-size-fits-all. We have different flexibility and we have different shoe sizes. And so we made the ProStretch Plus a little bit bigger, and we made it adjustable. So you can adjust the heel plate in the back. If you move that heel plate forward, you increase the degree of stretch. If you move it back, you decrease, which allows people to customize the stretch for their own personal needs. And because it's a little bit bigger and even a little bit wider, it accommodates people's foot better. And over time, people's feet have been growing. So, I mean, it's just the reality of our society. And then we actually added the toe lift on the front of it. That's a it's a aspect of the product that's kind of an advanced stretch, and we kind of note that because it really pulls the toes back while you're doing stretching and stretches that plantar fascia really well. But anybody that's experiencing any of those conditions I talked about, anything to do with the calf, the Achilles, or the plantar fascia or plantar fasciitis, can benefit from providing more flexibility into that interconnected chain, which takes the pressure off of the weakest link. So if your weakest link's the Achilles, that's what's going to start to hurt. If it's the plantar fascia, your plantar fascia, you're going to develop plantar fasciitis. But if you have flexibility built into that calf or the Achilles, then you take the pressure off that weakest link and you eliminate the problem that caused the injury in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, that's really interesting. I've seen them appear in physical therapist's office, but I have a question for you, which I wonder if this will prevent some of these strains. I mean, does it make sense to have a ProStretch Pro in your home and do it a couple of times a day just to alleviate anything that could happen in the future? Or what do you suggest?
Yeah, I think it's like any kind of stretching. You know, stretching is the best prevention we can have, I think, for injury. I really do. Of course, there's nutrition and sleep and all the other stuff that goes along with it. But from a physical standpoint, I think providing flexibility to our body is crucial. In fact, as we grow older, it is the most crucial thing because we lose muscle mass, we lose bone density, we lose lung capacity. The one thing we don't lose is flexibility, and yet the loss of flexibility contributes to more soft tissue injuries than anything else. And our sedentary lifestyles create a lot of these problems too. We sit in a chair all day long, and our muscles get tight, and they get programmed to beat like that. And then we want to go do all these things, and they're kind of like, wait a minute, that's not what we're conditioned to do. And so if we can provide the flexibility in those muscles, uh, then we definitely increase our chances of preventing injury from happening in the first place. I also think it has uh, a play in our performance, right? When we have flexibility and we're not getting tight, you're going to perform better. And so, certainly, if you're not injured, you're going to perform better. So I think there's a lot of a benefit to that. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't like to invest in prevention, but I use the ProStretch all the time. In fact, when I originally brought the product home, my wife laughed at me, and now she uses it every single day. And so it's one of those things that we find this a lot when people look at it, and then they stand on it and experience it. You can just see the light bulb go on. You can see the smile on their face, their eyes light up, and they get it. They understand it because they feel it. And that calf is one of the hardest working muscles in our body, and it's attached to the Achilles and the plantar fascia. And so if we can, provide that interconnected chain a lot of flexibility, we're going to definitely decrease our chances of injury. And so I recommend people using it every day, at least once a day. But I tell people generally, I do 3 sets of 3 times a day, and really try to hold each one of those sets, for 20 to 30 seconds. So I'm really getting those muscles reprogrammed.
A lot of people have back injuries too. They have very tight backs. They tend to do distance running, and then something happens with the back and it stops them in their tracks. Can you talk about some of the other products that you have that address the back and also the shoulder, where maybe you overuse from swimming, for example?
Yeah, so the back is a funny thing because kind of like plantar fasciitis, the cause of back tightness, especially lower back tightness, generally isn't the lower back. It's the hips and the glutes and the piriformis and the hamstrings, the dreaded hamstrings, and so that's our core. And so we really want to, again, not neglect that area. So having good flexibility in your hamstrings for the health of the hamstrings, but also the back is really important. And we've got two really good products for stretching the hamstrings. You can actually use the ProStretch Plus to stretch the hamstrings as well. And it's really good because you can stretch the medial, lateral, and hamstrings really well by rotating your body weight while using the product. And we've got diagrams and videos online to show you how to do that. And the other product is our Core Stretch. It is a simple product. People laugh at it because they think it's a pogo stick, but it is a simple product that works better than anything else out in the market. Physical therapists and chiropractors love this product because it works better, it's safer, and it's easier to use than anything else out there to provide flexibility for the entire posterior side of your body, starting with your triceps, your lats, which again, people neglect, your lumbar, your glutes, your piriformis, and your hamstrings. It'll stretch all of those areas, I promise, better than anything else out in the market. It's almost like having another person there helping you stretch because it allows you to get the leverage on those areas that you can't get otherwise. And so I'm just a huge fan of that product. And the medical community is a big fan of that product. And more people are starting to realize how important it is to have flexibility in that backside of your body to prevent a lot of those common injuries, like back pain. So if we'll just stretch, again, you'll prevent a lot of those things from happening.
So, talk to me about any upcoming innovations that you have on the pipeline.
Well, we're getting ready to introduce a product that is actually for strengthening the muscles that work with the back and also stretch the hips. The hips are very difficult area to deal with, but we've designed a product, again, very simple in nature, but very effective for stretching, the anterior and posterior side of your hips really, really well as providing strengthening exercises for your lower back. It's a product that a physical therapist designed and patented, and we just fell in love with it, and we're working with him. We'll be introducing that probably in the next 45 to 60 days. So really a fantastic product.
That's great. Very exciting. That absolutely is an area that we all have issues with.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so walk us through. So somebody is training for a marathon or a long distance triathlon, and what could their regimen be in order to stay healthy and injury free?
Well, I think you got to start with the foundation, your feet. When you look at your feet, you've got to realize, and you're putting a pounding on those. And people spend $150 for a pair of running shoes, but I mean, you can really enhance the performance of those running shoes with a really good insole. And we've got some really great insoles that provide either more support if you have plantar fasciitis or extra cushioning. For taking some of the shock off of your body. And then, making sure you're blister free. That was one of the big issues I had when I was training for my triathlon, sorry. I was getting blisters in between my toes, and I tried all kinds of things, the 5-toe socks and all kinds. Nothing worked. And I started using our blister shield, and man, it took the problem away. And I can't tell you how many people have told me that, boy, I've tried everything for my blisters, nothing works. They try the blister shield and it works. It's just a great product to take away friction and moisture, and it will last as long as you do out on the road. So I think you got to take care of your feet first. That's the foundation of everything else that you're doing. And then I think, providing good flexibility in all those key areas, the calf area we talked about, your core. If you can continue to strengthen those areas, but also make sure that you provide flexibility and keep them conditioned well, I think you're going to, definitely decrease your chances of injury. And again, I think it, in some respects, will enhance your performance. And then, you're going to have different common aches and pains come up from one thing or another. You talked about this, the swimmers. We've got a strap for a swimmer's shoulder. People develop a tendonitis up in their shoulder from the swimming motion, and we've got a strap that you can wear while you swim to take that tendonitis away. And of course, knees are a big issue. We've got several really good knee braces, and in fact, we've got several more we're developing to bring out in the market that we're excited about because it's such a big issue for people. And people have different needs. Some people need more support. Some people want less support. Some people wear them underpants, overpants. And so we're trying to address all of those issues to provide products that, really fit people's needs for whatever they're doing. And again, we got a full range of products that address different things like that. But, that's how I would attack the problem. It's, I guess, not the problem, but if you're starting out and you're in that training mode, take a little bit extra time to do some prevention, invest a little bit, more money into your prevention, and I think it'll pay dividends to you, well on down the road.
100% agree. Thank you so much, Craig. Finally, how can our listeners get in touch with you and learn more about your products?
So our website is Medi-Dyne.com, MEDI-DYNE.com, or you can, search any one of our brands, Thule, Chopat, ProStretch, or Teutons, and it'll all take you to our landing page. And I encourage you to look on there because we've got a lot of educational material on our website. We have a pain solution center, and it's broken out by different body parts, and it talks about helping you identify, different things and how to address different things in an effective way. And it's a fairly comprehensive way too. We try to put a lot of extra material on there that doesn't necessarily relate to our products, but is helpful to people. Our core mission is really to keep people moving and doing what they love to do. And so we really want to give you the best shot possible to do just that, whatever it is. If it's training for a marathon or a triathlon, or, I was just talking to a lady that hiked across Portugal and Spain, and, she's developing blisters. And so, I mean, it was just 15 minutes ago, I was just talking with her about it. And when you provide those solutions for people and they get to do that, and it's an experience that they can kind of relish the rest of their lives, I mean, that brings a lot of satisfaction to us. And so we really work hard at trying to educate people on what we provide and what else is out there to help them have those experiences. And if they go to our website, I think they'll find a lot of useful information to do just that.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. We really appreciate your time.
Well, I really appreciate you having me. We're big fans of yours, as you know, and we really appreciate the opportunity to be here with you.
This show was produced by Hilary Topper and sponsored by the Russo Law Group, Long Island's signature elder law, estate planning, and special needs law firm. For more information, visit vjrussolaw.com. Also, Vimazi, the shoes I love to train in. Go to Vimazi, VIMAZI.com, and check out my website at triathletesdiary.com for a special discount code of 25% off of all Vimazi products. Also, Medi-Dyne. It's an incredible company for all your injury prevention and pain relief products. I have a discount code of 20% off of them as well. You can go to Medi-Dyne.com for more information, or again, you can go to my website at triathletesdiary.com/discounts to get a discount for any and all Medi-Dyne products. And PlayTri, your multi-sport specialist for all your triathlon needs. They have so many opportunities, including franchising. If you love the sport of triathlon, check out playtry.com and learn more about opportunities, or if you want to shop there, check them out. They've got great prices and they've got amazing customer service.